Alright, I mean, I've been surprisingly negligent when it comes to the fantastic return of the Festival of the Four Winds. I've only done Labyrinthine Cliffs. I mean, that video made 2.5 weeks ago, that's all I've done. Well, no, I did a bit of grinding in the cliffs. And I got a backpack for my, what was it called? The Slick Pack? This is for the Sacrificial, which unfortunately you're not going to see it here, but I got the Slick Pack for him. So yeah, this is my second Necromancer, by the way. But, I haven't done, I haven't even been to Divinity's Reach for the Queen's Festival or whatever it is. I haven't done that yet. Shame on me. So here it is, 4 days before the festival is going to end, and I'm going to be going into DR for the first time this summer. Or at least into the festival section of it for the first time. I'm probably not going to get the, what was it, the Griffin Master thing. I'm not...
traveler.
Ooh, Crown Pavilion. I kind of want to... Ooh, that's nice. I don't know, like, I like to think that I can use the Griffin in the most basic of ways, but the whole... Like, I can make it dive, and I can make it go forward and not crash into anything, but pulling up is the tricky part. And then having to dive down and then climb back up a second time, just... and in such a confined space, and you only have like 30 or 45 seconds to do it. I'm probably never going to get that achievement, at least not this year. I haven't put much effort into it, I'll be honest, but just... As a reminder, I have never been to... I had never experienced the Festival of the Four Winds 4.5 years ago, 3.5 years, I guess. So every time I dove down into the Crown Pavilion, it was just a big old hole, and you would automatically be teleported out to somewhere else, and then you'd have to find portals to get your way back up, which are already in there. So, like, I've never... Whoa. So, like, I've never been here before. Or at least yeah. I've never been down here before. I have no idea what's going on, by the way, so... Yeah. Is there perhaps a tour guide around here? Oh, the Queen is here. Oh, she'll know me.
Welcome, everyone. If you haven't, I
know this
encourage
voice.
all citizens to visit our Zephyrite friends on the Labyrinthine Cliffs. The Festival of the Four Winds belongs to all of us. It is a reminder of the heights we can achieve together.
Get out of here, Smoke Scale. Nobody likes your style. Let's see, can I talk to her? Nope. Shining Blade. Sup, girlfriend? Sandra Salor has done that part, so yes. Watch Nights. Did they blink? Did they blink? Nope, they do not. Certainly better than the Watch Nights I've known. That's a better android than most androids you see in sci-fi these days. No idea what that is. I'm just gonna... I know that the first video was a bit drawn out, like I didn't know what I was doing, and it didn't have a lot of focus. This one's going to be more or less the same thing. So, let's see what do we have here.
Nothing can bring me down.
Hello. It tastes fishy and a little sandy. Is that it? Same thing. That sounds important. Perhaps I should go assist. course, the closest one I go to has nobody helping with it. Long-reaching fireball, huh? Can it reach 1500? I don't think so. Oh, but he does have reflect. Why do they always have reflect? That's the whole point of ranger longbows, to keep your distance. That's the whole point of it. What do? They put up reflecting projectiles. Sucks. Just sucks. I have no idea what I'm doing right now. Did we only do like a 6%? Damn it. Oh, it knocked me in the lava, thanks. This is one of the problems I've got with Guild Wars 2, is that, are we healing dead people? We're healing dead people. I'm not gonna heal who's dead. Is that, well, we've got projectile reflections. You can't use projectiles. You can't use ranged attacks. Alright, so going for close range. Well, I've got a knockback, and I've got a knockdown, and I've got all this shit. And it's like, well, how exactly are you supposed to beat the damn thing, you know? Oh, and then he can teleport, or he has this, reduced damage at close range. Oh, great, what's hitting me now? I have no idea. And he's gonna get me along before I get this guy. I think he was dead, and I didn't realize it. Is there a timer on this guy? Gosh, if only you'd been here, you know, 2.5 weeks ago, this wouldn't have been as difficult. There would have been like 100 players doing this thing all at the same time. Wonderful. I used to use my heal. What does he do? He throws me back in the lava. Wonderful. Is there anybody who's not? I think I'm the only one. I'm going to go stand over here. And you want to know the ironic thing about this whole situation? My pet has taken less damage than me. Stick to what you're good at, Ava. Stick to what you're good at.
Length of the path.
Damn it. Vulnerable. We're even hitting him. Finally. What was that? There was no AoE warning. That's right. Call back my pets. Faster healing, bitch. And again, here's the thing: my pet is taking less damage than me, and yet, you know, I'm the one who is almost dying. I don't get this. And as soon as I throw that out, he puts a reflect on me. Gee, I wonder what happens when we lose. Which we are going to lose, by the way. We've only gained, what, 20% in 5 minutes? Oh, all of the bosses are still alive. Disregard. Okay, so this is very much going to fail. Gosh, if only you'd been here 2 weeks ago.
Spirits should be impressed.
Maybe everybody's still at work. Okay, where's this? Oh, 'cause he's instantly teleporting towards me, and by the time I notice, he's on top of me. Let's pull you back. You're gonna walk through the lava. Really? And again, I was being injured more than my pet was. That's so twisted. That's so wrong. Of course not. I just healed back to full health and he takes... Where is he now?
Hit me. I'll hit back. Might makes me right.
And of course, as soon as I do that, he puts his shield up again. Of course. 15 seconds now. So, what the hell was that? Where did that come from? Can't engage him at they refuse to let you engage at long range, which is actually very tactically sound, I'd like to point out. But then when you go to close range, they just kick your ass in every way possible. They don't even give you the chance to strike. Why did I waste that? There's a shield against it. Wait. Oh, we abandoned. See if map gets any attention. Shouldn't really justifiably be putting up a mentor, but I want to draw more attention more than anything else. Are you kidding me? No, that's not. I'm using that reduced longbow cooldown, but that being said, he always seems to do it just as I fire the ship. I've been playing with Ranger Longbow for 3.5 years. I know what I'm doing. I swear by this thing. If it had not been for Ranger Longbow, I don't think I would have been long for this game. Sandra's Lore was my very first character. Where do you go now? Where is he? No, of course he'd put the shield up just as I fire that. Of course! my pet has been right next to me the entire time. Didn't I send him out again? Where's it now? There we go. Are you fucking kidding me? And I'm good. Alright, which one was it? That one. And again! Oh, that's why I was moving so slowly. Because I fucking walking engaged. Why? Why was I walking? What the fuck? His shield's not up. Why didn't that hit? Now his shield is up. Oh my god. What the fuck? This is bullshit. I'm not coming back from this one. Wait, I'm in the lava and I'm come back here. Oh great, he's sitting in the lava now. Oh, that's gonna be helpful. So if I come out, and don't these people know that if you die, you're supposed to waypoint immediately? Oh, man. This is bullshit. Every time I do one of my heavy-hitting moves, he does a teleport or he does a shield. And it just, everything goes back on me. Right, you. That was a waste. Okay. If you're dead, waypoint. Is that such a difficult thing? I'd love to know what... He's in a guild. He's in a guild, so he does know better. He's got a gold number. He knows better. I'm gonna go over here, and all of a sudden he's gonna shadow separate to watch. How much time is this gonna last? I'm sure this is used. No. I'm getting tired of this. Like, I'm barely 5 minutes in, and there's silver reward time remaining. Oh, I wasted that. And that. Okay, so when he teleports, he puts the shield up. I think I figured that out by now. Of course he teleported. Why wouldn't he? And he put his shield up! Just did that.
Fury is mine. Reveal of one. Strength of the pack.
Been saving up my zero for a while now because I couldn't reliably put it out without, you know, like killing myself or something. Oh my god. No. Really?
Pleasant heat. Deflection.
No. Sometimes he puts the shield up after he teleports, and sometimes he teleports after he puts the shield up, and sometimes he puts his shield up before he teleports. So it's like, what exactly is the pattern here?
Maybe all.
And now he's moved out of range, so that thing at least. Now, if I go up and use melee on him, he'll kick my ass instantly. What exactly do they want me to do in this game with bosses? Seriously. And more importantly, why can't we as players do exactly that? You know, say we're going to put up a reflect for 15 seconds, and then we're going to turn around and... She's out of range. Of course he moved out of range. Why wouldn't he? So the whole thing's wasted again. Range again as I'm shooting. Where'd he go now?
Reveal of one. I am awesome.
I just got an achievement for something I have no idea what. Why did I fire that? And then he teleports! He teleported with the shield up! So, like, I can't hit him before he teleports, and I can't hit him after he teleports. What exactly did I use? You know, but you should learn to do close range combat, you know, it really is great, because you get all these boons thrown at you. He put... What? There's no warning! There's no warning! You see, this is why I shouldn't be using the apple, because I just... Maybe this is one of those really hard... But are you fucking kidding me? Not only did he dodge it, but he teleported to me again. I wasted that.
Reveal of one. Someone help me.
Damn. It's a lot of XP. It'd be a good place to level up, I'll say that. Okay, how long have I been at this? I'm gonna have to go back to look at the clock in the recording. That was stupid! Oh, here we go. I hope they don't follow you out. They follow you out? I don't know.
Fury is mine.
I'll say this though, I have supreme confidence in the smoke scale. And then they nerfed it a couple of days ago. Oh, that pissed me off! That pissed me off so hard. I was like, are you kidding? Smoke scale's awesome. I specifically use smoke scale because he can punch. Away. Away. Do I even want to poke at these guys? Not really. Welcome to the Festival of the Four Winds.
Next.
You know this superstar by now. Let's hear it.
Did I get anything out of that?
Can our challenger make it?
You can see bundles of loot, and I just purchased that backpack, so my festival tokens are real tiny again. Talk to each of these. Let's see.
How were your endeavors progressing?
Oh, wait, immobilize? What? Oh, they don't want me in there. All right, how do I
Our
get in there?
challenger better wrap things up quick.
Okay, now what?
Countless blessings.
Ah, which is probably what these are for.
You know this
Drops.
superstar by now. Let's hear it.
Aha, that's how. Okay, where was it?
It's tough to prosper nowadays, but we try.
Okay, now what do I do?
I'm a bit busy here.
What do I do? I've agreed to a fight, and what do I do? Oh shit, here we
Have
go.
a new challenger.
Length of the pack.
Wait, that my trick did not work. Why not?
You know this superstar by now. Let's hear it.
There. All better.
Okay.
Salutations.
Is that nope. Medic doesn't do anything.
Welcome.
Okay. Let's see what a different one does. Unless they're all the same. Oh, it is.
We have a new challenger.
Is that the goddamn Stay Puft Marshmallow Man?
Length of the pack.
Alright, let's be stupid and do some melee. Half HP! And down! That was my last ticket, right? Yeah, that's it. I can't even go back in. That's it.
My crew is on the verge of a breakthrough.
Come back to me.
The instant I went melee, he's like, nope, you're not playing. By the way, got a point. Oh, there's yeah, I see that over there. I have to teleport out of here at some point. Go around.
Structural integrity compromised.
Boom, boom, bangs. This boss is called Boom Boom Bangs. Now that's the arena net, I know.
I did that.
Looks like you just kind of out DPS this guy, and that's about it. None of that reflective teleporting bullshit. One hit you at point blank range and you're down, and then he sits on top of you.
It's not time for eternal sleep. Get up.
Oh. Oops. I thought they were doing it.
Next.
There's an event over back there, but I don't know what it is.
I trust that Tyrion's finest will always...
God, why didn't I come in here 2.5 weeks ago? What is wrong with me? Oh god, this boss hasn't even been touched yet. Oh no! Oh, my sound is, it's just music right now. Okay, stop burning me! What the hell? Stop burning me! Thank you! Jesus! How long did that go? Took one look at me and took 2/3 of my health instantly, and then left me burning for the rest. Why did I waste that?
Quick length of the path.
Why is the music so prominent compared to the sound effects? It's strange. For my first 9 characters, one of each class, I intentionally kept things simple by using a lot of sigils, or I'm sorry, signets. My 7 through 9s, usually very simple. And I use the signet specifically because, or I say sigils or signets? Signets. I did that specifically because I don't have to think about the bonuses. I don't have to actively take the time to take my hand off my mouse or something like that, and reach over and hit that 7, that 8, or that 9. Yeah, it robs me of an additional tag feature, but with a signet, I'm constantly buffed. Or buffed, booned, something like that. So I don't have to think about it. My 6 is a different story. I've got that in close range, so I don't have to worry about that too much. What's hitting me? Oh, that's me. Alright. Back here. Oh, it didn't work. Yes, it did. So I'm certain, I'm absolutely certain there are other things out there that could help me in combat significantly, but my 7 through 9s, I usually run signets. Because, like, I don't have to think about, okay, movement speed, I could replace that just because nowadays we've got mounts. But I'm constantly recovering health with this one, and my ferocity is increased there as well, so I don't have to think about it. They're just always there. It's one less button I have to worry about in the grand scheme of things. Now, I have a second ranger. Actually, he's a druid these days, and I'm slowly equipping him for fractals. It's a very non-meta design that I'm running. His 6 through 0s have also changed. Are not all signets. They actually do some things. But again, he was the second ranger. I made him, gosh, a year and a half after I made Sandra's, something like that. I think this was just an out DPS bonus. Bad place to be. Is there another? Did I waste that? Also, one of the reasons I appreciate Ranger Longbows so much is because the farther away you are, the more damage you do. So I'm not, and I get so pissed off at newcomer Rangers who don't know better. If they are, if they fire a, if they're firing a longbow at point blank range, I get pissed because it's like, you know, you're doing minimum damage right now, right? So keeping my distance means, look at all the AoEs and all the little melee stunts and whatchamacallits in there. I'm practically untouchable. Well, or I'm practically untouched at the moment. And that pirate has one of those. Okay. Oh, I missed that.
Attack. Quickly.
I'm in a bad place. I'm in a bad place. As long as I have good situational awareness in terms of where the enemies are located, where they're coming from, I can engage at range, and I can avoid the majority of those AoEs. In fact, Ranger longbow has oh Jesus, has the longest reach in the game. 18, is it 1500 or 1800? Something like that. It's not burning me. Now, unfortunately, I'm being forced into the center here, which is going to make me vulnerable. These pirates are they're not centered right there. They're not sitting in the middle like they were earlier.
You see? I did that. Strength of the pack.
Teleport them ahead. The longest reach in the game, and I'm doing maximum damage with the longest reach in the game. This is how I learned to play Guild Wars 1 with Sanders alone. Keep my distance, watch what's going on.
Another proud
They all done? They're all done. Oh, that's because everybody else showed up at the last minute. Never mind. Can use mouse. Okay. Oops. In regards to, was it Path of Fire? That's the reason why I haven't played around with the Scourge. I haven't played around with... I got 8 tickets now? 8 tickets, okay. That's why I haven't played with, golden tickets.
battle.
I'd heard about these. Oh. Oh, okay. Your race just kicked off. Yeah. Shit, what is this course? Oops. Where now? I could put those beacons slightly closer to each other. Shit, now I'm in combat! Yes, the advantages of being a soul beast. You can recall your minion at any time you like, and indeed you can dig. Did I just go the wrong way? Yeah, you did. Ah! By the way, this music comes from the Festival of the Four Winds. Everybody thought it came from, everybody including me, thought it came from Path of Fire and Mount Races. No, they reused it from the Festival of the Four Winds, which, by the way, the only time I've done that race is when I did it on that recording. I haven't revisited since, shame on me. Where do I go? Those White Mantle? What kind of fucked up place is this? Why is he running around in a griffin? Ooh, looks like a breakout. Finish line. Okay, not bad. Looks like that took me 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes or so.
I didn't see you there.
I could almost run it a second time. I was sorting through all my stuff. I was like, oh, there's a race coming. How should I do that? Tome of Knowledge? I don't think so. Considering how easy it is to get Tomes of Knowledge, don't you dare try and buy one of those things. Even. Looks like these are all pretty much the same as they were on Labyrinthine Cliffs. Where's the Dragon Home Census? Ew.
So, what
Boring.
brings you here?
Fervid Sensor. Oh, dude, I should totally get this for my
Let's
Elementalist.
see the color of your
My first Elementalist, who's a Sylvari. She's like a dumb blonde, except without the blonde. I have a blonde Sylvari, but she's not dumb. But my first Sylvari was my first Elementalist. She's dumb as a box of rocks.
So, what brings you here?
Her heart's in the right place. She just doesn't know what the hell she's doing. Much like myself. I figure you don't need to watch me do shopping, so I just stopped the recording. It's just gonna eat up. Okay, so this is the slick pack I was telling you about earlier for the sacrificial. I got this. I kind of wish you could change the colors on it, so instead of green it would have been red, because he's a very Bloodstone themed character. But this is kind of what I wanted to give him, so. The one I would kind of sort of want to get is this mask, but I don't have my heart set on it. I don't know if you can change the color of it, though. I think you
You'll
can.
find everything you need here.
It's kind of neat. You know, I would love to see this mask for underwater use. It says, look to apply this to any other helmet, but it doesn't say if I could apply it to like an underwater thing. If I could do that, it would be worth pursuing, because I would like to see this kind of helmet for underwater use. That would be great.
Fury is mine.
I'm gonna look at the wiki, see if I can use this on underwater stuff. So it looks like the gas mask is regularly accessible, so I'm probably not even going to worry about this one. I think most of these are available outside. Although the Zephyr Sanctomatum, I have been curious about that, because I've never seen anybody use it. And the wiki seems to be a little non-specific. Although, to be fair, when it was originally available, it was only available originally during Season 1, so probably nobody after there would even have one. Let's see, is that the same weapon vendor? Let's see.
It's a soldier's life for me.
So what's the difference? Rifles suck in this game. What they can do, how much punch they have. Rifles suck in this game. It's a rifle. Here it is. That's not bad.
You'll find everything
Has
you
kind
need.
of an exalted Auric Basin kind of look to it. Rifles suck. I don't use rifles. The only time I've like actively chosen to use a rifle was on my engineer, which I never use because I don't get the class, or I don't understand the class. And the other one was on... Well, no, I take it back. I take it back. The other one was on my warrior, which is, in my opinion, a necessary evil because rifles on warriors suck. But admittedly, they don't suck as much as longbow. And then currently I've got my Sylvari Daredevil. She's using a rifle, or at least I like to think she's using it. I don't know. I'm not impressed with Daredevil. On the other hand, Thief in general is not used for PvE. It's not used for open world, so it's kind of useless to me.
find everything you need here.
So yeah, I mean, there are nice rifle skins. Like, this actually is a nice rifle
Find
skin. Just,
everything you need here.
I wouldn't... There would be no... Okay, ArenaNet, how are we supposed to see what the face on this thing looks like if you're only... If you're showing us the bottom view of it? How are you supposed to even know there's a face on the bottom? Guessing this is a torch. That's nice. It'd be nice if I used torch. You know, why don't we have torch on Elementalist? It's kind of the obvious one. That's nice. This boss is just kicked off again. Oh, that's short bow, so where's the long bow? Great bow. There's only one character I use longbow on, and you're looking at her. Well, kind of. There's only one character I have that regularly uses longbow. Or at least would justifiably. I suppose because Ranger's longbow was so good, the others are kind of by nature supposed to suck. Just because, like, the standards are so high against Ranger, they're like... I don't want a bunch of different Rangers running around. I've got two, that's kind of enough. One really is enough for me. I made the second one just to see if I could do anything different with it because I was bored one day. Sorry, Arter, but you were created specifically because I was bored. I'm sorry, man. It's true. More horns. It's so tiny you can't see it. What the hell's the point? There, now I can see it. That looks like something from like the terror the Imperium of Man in Warhammer 40,000 we use. This is a shield. It's got to be a shield. It's a nice shield that actually covers some acreage. I'm guessing it's a mace. Oh, it's three-sided. Interesting. Done with this music. I'm done. I was gonna run it the whole time, but it's driving me nuts. It's like, I can only take that for so much.
The 6 watch over you.
So then what's the difference between those and these?
You'll find everything you need here.
Let's purchase the corresponding sovereign weapon before
color
buying
of
this
your
weapon.
coin.
Why? What's the difference? Oh, these are like the pure gold version. Oh! That's gotta be great sword. Yeah. Good grief. What on earth? Good grief. It's gotta be a pistol. Yep. The only time pistols have been good is when it's on a thief. That's it. I used to run pistol on my, whatchamacallit, on my Mesmer, my only Mesmer. But, I shifted to focus after a while, so. Yes, like the rifle is nice. I like the design of the rifle, just I don't want to commit to the rifle because I don't use them. I have no use for rifles. So, like, some of these skins look nice, but the amount of effort it takes to get them, and I only have one in favor of the festival right now, so... See, can I make any others? Let's see. Favor of the Bazaar and favor of the Pavilion. Okay, so I only have...
I gotta go.
Greetings, traveler.
Hamming? His name is Hamming.
Talk to you later.
A little bit of lag here. I'm not doing that right now. Wait. I do hope you're planning on entering the Queen's Gauntlet just above. So obviously your caliber would be exceptional taste for our watch nights. Hmm? Oh! They're all watch knights? So watch knights can teleport, huh? And they can put up invulnerable shields, huh? This sounds like something an Asura would say. It should have been an Asura. By the way, I like her outfit. She is small compared to me. If I had one regret about Sandra's lore, it would be that she's a Norn. Nope. That's not right. It would be that she's a Norn. I know it's kind of off topic, but if I had one regret, it's that she's Norn. If I had to do it over again, she would have been Asura or she would have been human. Or, no, actually, I didn't care about humans at the time. I still don't. But, yeah, she would have been a Asura, or she would have been Sylvari, or she would have been a Char. I don't even know if it would have been a she. Just, I regret making her... The whole point, and this is off topic, I know. The whole point of, let's see, me choosing a Norn, in my ignorance, having never played Guild Wars 2, is that I was told that Norn could transform into animals. And I'm like, oh my god, I could turn into a bird and I can fly up in the trees. I can do death from above. I can do all kinds of interesting things like that. You just become a furry. That's all it is. You become a furry for... It's like 25 seconds or something like that. That's all it is. And just... Rar, and Rar Samar, and... What? So yeah, if there was... And look at that cooldown time. 240 seconds, that's over 2 minutes. No, that's... What, that's 3 minutes. 3 or 4 minutes. Just 4 minutes for 30 seconds. Do you know how much I can do in the time period that it takes for this thing to recharge? And how little I can accomplish, or what little I can accomplish when I transform? I'm going to have to wait 3 minutes for this damn thing to cool down now. Before I can change it back to something actually genuinely useful. And by the way, that's a racial trait. You know, all these things down here, at least I could like do... What's this? Curious. But yeah, I mean, these are all racial things. Become the wolf, become the bear, raven, snow leopard. And I was just so disappointed. But the problem is, by the time I learned about that, I was so committed, I was so interested in the profession, and I'd done so much story and I'd done so much exploration that at that point, like, I was kind of committed to the actual character of Sandra's allure. So I just... I couldn't bring it... I couldn't bring myself to, like, reset the character or reset the profession. Like, just do a ranger but different. So that's my one regret with this character, is that in my noobish ignorance, I chose a profession, or I chose a race that I... Oh, do I want to fight him again? It's not the same thing. In my noobish ignorance, I selected a character that it just wasn't all that good. or I selected a race that was not all that good. Now, the sacrificial is also a, let's see, can I attack this? Yes, I can. Oops. Burned by something. Alright, let's attack. What's burning me? There's nothing burning me. Some distance here. So yeah, Ranger Longbow for the win. Just, there were other races I could have used that would have had better treats. I still have to wait 40 seconds. For fuck's sake. But by the time that thing recharges, if you're in PvP, by the time that thing recharges, you could have 6 enemies killed. Ouch. By the time that thing recharges, you could have killed 6 or 7 enemies. And in the 30 seconds you actually had it operating, you probably killed, what, 1? So, it is just not worth it. If you ever want to build Norn for racial reasons, don't... Whoa, Jesus. Okay, that fire thing can go away now.
Might.
Why did I just use a knockdown on a... or knockback on a... This is hard. Came over to heal me and then used up some heals. Tired of that. Oh boy. Oh goody. Let's go over here. Was lucky to dodge that, but I lost half my HP anyways. What I'd like to do is stand up on that ledge right there. I'd like to stand up there and shoot down. Unfortunately, in this game, that wouldn't count. That's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted.
A fitting rule. Fury is mine. We heal as one.
I'm still way too close. Time to move.
Spirits should be impressed. We heal as one.
And by the way, I'm stuck right now with that elite skill. It's just there right now, and I can't do anything with it till I get out of combat. There's a YouTube channel I recommend, and one of the lines from one of the episodes he did was "fucking furries." Although his voice didn't crack, but you get my point.
We heal as one. I'm amazing. We heal as one.
You know this superstar by now. Let's hear it.
Nothing prickly.
Your longbow is spammable if you have a cooldown on it. I've heard some people say that it's boring. I was like, have you seen the Warrior's longbow? Look at the Warrior's longbow, then tell me that the Ranger longbow is boring. Go ahead. I'm sitting here waiting now.
We heal
this GTFO. I can finally replace this shit. Oh god, nobody's engaged this guy yet. Ow, 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 ow.
We heal as one.
Jesus Christ. I forgot how OP White Mantle are.
Our challenger better wrap things up quick.
Or else, oh, Silver. There's some sort of boss, big boss event in here, so it's like if you... The more bosses you kill, the higher the reward is at the end of the day, something like that, so...
Nothing can bring me down. Fury is mine. The spirits should be impressed.
Ranger's fairly, or Sandra's warrior, fairly selfish in her boons. I never built her to support others, really. The only time I did that was when I was first considering what the zero skill was going to do. There was some sort of, and this is before Heart of Thorns, by the way, but there's some sort of an elite skill that lets you resurrect players who have been downed within a, of course, a dodge step. Why not? There's a skill, there's a zero skill that lets you resurrect downed players. I considered having that for a while, but
Come on, hit me. I'll hit back. That's how I do it.
fairly selfish. Sandra's just, not her personality, but just her skill setup is fairly selfish. Whoa. What are you?
I'm amazing.
As long as the Centaurs don't suddenly rear around and turn on me. Oops.
Strength of the pack.
Oh, of course he ran! He ran as I fired it off! Oh man, that sucks.
Nothing can bring
Where's
me
he
down.
going? What is this? Where's he going? Of course, the instant I fired off, and I specifically waited for that. I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to go throw Strength of the Pact, and then, Strength of the, yeah, Strength of the Pact. I was going to throw that, and as invulnerable,
Spirits should be impressed.
and then I was going to do, you know, skills 2 and 5, and then he ran. So my skill 5 missed. I had to wait for that to finish the game. At least he's standing still longer than the previous one was, and he doesn't have a shit ton of reflex on him. Where's he going now? Ow. Can you avoid that? Is this guy recharging? down there? Oh, this is the guy I was fighting earlier. He's at 99%. Do I really want to do this? I'm gonna go do the others. I don't want to fight him. I had enough of that guy for now. Let's go this way. Bit of lag. What's going on?
Ow!
Boom, boom, Banes! Back to this guy.
I chose Fury is mine.
I suppose as a result of so many of my characters running sigils all the time, I kind of trained myself over that first year, whatever it is, to not even look at my 7 through 0s. So when an opportunity presents itself, and actually have one of those available, such as my 0,
Awesome.
all of a sudden I don't think to look over there. Oh, I have that available. Oh, I can use that.
Strength of the pack.
But I suppose that's my fault. I'm not even talking about the F keys either for each of the different professions. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about 7 through 0, which is, you know, farther away. You have to actually take the time. You have to sacrifice one hand or the other to reach over and hit one of those. I suppose if my keyboard were arranged a little differently, that wouldn't be an issue. I think I need to get a dedicated gaming mouse, because right now the one I'm using, it's programmable, but it's kind of sort of, why did I always say it? It's kind of sort of more of an internet browsing mouse than a dedicated gaming mouse. Like, it's multi-mode, so, you know, I can change it if I want to.
Attack. I chose you.
Oh, don't draw that over. Now you see, right there, if I were using nothing but melee right now, look at all those AoEs in the middle of there. Look at all the crap that he's doing. He's bouncing those guys all over the place. As opposed to me, I've been sitting in this one corner here for almost a whole 3-4 minutes now. It may be boring, but at least it's consistent. Or the damage I'm doing is consistent. I should also admit that as the character that I've had around for the longest, Sandra Allure is also the only one of my characters who has, with the exception of her underwater stuff, is the only one of my characters that has nothing but Ascended on her. So I was very proud of that, and my leather supplies are hating me right now. Oops, I'm out of range.
Strength of the pack. Much better.
What? Is he planning on coming back down here?
I choose you.
What's my reach again? 1500, yeah. All other long-range weapons in the game, they're only like 1200. Ranger longbow goes 1500. It's the longest reach. Which when I got Daredevil, or when I started experimenting around with Daredevil a little over a year ago, I was really disappointed that it didn't have. It's a frickin' sniper. It should have maximum range, maybe not maximum damage, but it should have maximum range, and it didn't. Ranger longbow still outranges a sniper rifle, even an enchanted ascended sniper rifle. Now, ArenaNet, where's the sense in that? Oh, it'd be too OP if it was in PvP. God, how much HP does this guy have? Deploys healing turrets. Oh, I didn't notice that. Hey, maybe you should look at the stats. Here I am, sitting pretty with my longbow. Nary a scratch. Call that boring if you must, but, I mean, I provided consistent damage the entire time, so concerned I am not.
Might makes me right.
Looks like they're going this way. And I shall go this way. Ugh, this thing. Ugh. Fired my AoE, he teleported out of range. Shit.
Our challenger better wrap his
Strength of the pack.
Oh no, I wasn't looking when I fired that. My bad. My bad. I goofed that up. I goofed that up. Oh, teleported. You watch, as soon as I move over here, he's gonna like jump on top of the beast. I suppose the one disadvantage to running a longbow from so far away is all these icons, all these characters, they're all sitting on top of each other, and it does obstruct my view. I mean, my view as the player, it obstructs my view, and I
Nothing can
can't
bring
see
me
some of
down.
the tells of what the NPC is doing. So there is, I suppose there is that one, oh yeah, of all the advantages to keeping my distance, that's probably one that's a disadvantage.
I trust that Tyrion's finest will all wish to test their mettle.
The compact is swift.
I just fought this guy earlier yesterday. Pain in the ass.
Hold on.
Ooh.
A fitting reward. Do you see? I did that. Strength of the pack.
He's not throwing too many enemies or something. suppose at some point I'll be obligated to name my pets, but...
Getting healthier.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's correct. At least this guy doesn't throw down a shit ton of CC, and he's not like invulnerable bullshit like the actual... Is it Pavilion? Whatever his name is. The bullshit that happens in the actual...
Defense, then offense.
The race organizer just said. Vulnerable.
Always a pleasure to welcome this veteran contender back to our arena.
There's a rocket in the air. What? Why is that there? It's weird. Maybe there's an event in here somewhere that it's on a timer or something. Turn the music get going. I like the music for the races.
You'll find everything you need here.
What? Get me back in there. Wow, Steam activated. Like, I turned Steam on like 20 minutes ago, and it decided to pop up and do its update right as the race started. So, like, I'm not even... Oh, it's lagging so hard. Why? Why did it do that? I thought I turned that shit... Okay, I'm pissed. Which way that way? Still lagging. And I missed. And lag. Oh, God. Come on. Got you so you can do that. No. No. I don't even use Steam that often. Why? Oh shit, where is it? So much for the idea that I might actually make third place, if that. Oh, I overshot. I wasn't looking. I overshot. No, I would never ever take a roller beetle through here. I don't care if it's Festival of the Four Winds and that's where it came from, or if it's a Guild Wars 1 homage or not. That would be terrible for me to use that. That was awful. Up on the ramps there. Roller Beetle was introduced, what, 2 months ago? I don't imagine it's going to be part of my regular rotation of mounts. Like, my regular rotation is the Jackal here, which is my primary, then the Springer, and then, Jackal, Springer, and Griffin. That's my rotation. So, like, I never use, or I don't use Raptor anymore, and I don't use. I'm just trying to look for an empty arena. So I don't use Raptor anymore. I mean, once you learn how to teleport with a Jackal, you don't need Raptor anymore. It's kind of the same thing. You can go the exact same distances. Let's see. Do I have to queue myself up? Oh, I never finished Robert. Okay. What's his name? Dubruche? Dubruche. Hirsch? Say that.
Our challenger better wrap things up quick.
Look what's back.
Oh wow, how'd you come back?
We have a new challenger.
Might makes
Note
me
to self, don't use melee.
strength of the pack.
It's done with me. These are the kinds of bosses I hate. They have to get right next to you. They have to get right next to you, and so they just follow and follow and follow, and they don't give you time to recharge your weapons, and you just spend all your time recharging and healing and cooling down.
Might makes me right.
This is frustrating. My pet isn't even doing his part. It's completely ignoring my pet. Those are the kinds of NPCs I don't like, because they completely ignore them. There we go.
Wrap things up
hold on.
quick.
Wait, why was the pet down? What the hell was that?
Contender back to our arena.
There you go.
I'm gonna check the wiki, see if there's like a major event or something that's popping up in here. Because I'll be honest, I've kind of done everything I can. Maybe I should find a way to teleport out or waypoint out and what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, yeah, I'm gonna find a way out and see if there's anything up in the actual pavilion itself. Because I've kind of like done everything here. Maybe. Oh, I went the wrong way. Maybe that's a one of those. Like viewing boxes, maybe? Maybe this is kind of the limits of what, what's it called? The festival could do. I mean, this was at the dawn of Living World Season 1, so maybe this is the limits of it. It's just a bunch of arenas where you fight and you get some tickets and that's it. Maybe that's it. I don't know. Jesus.
Anything to report?
So I did actually fall from the ceiling. Took me long enough to load in, but... Alright.
What do you need?
What's this?
These are dangerous times.
I'm guessing there's an achievement involved there, so... I don't know, kind of the only thing I want are these. And I don't know.
You'll find everything you need
Not really
here.
anything that's screaming at me right now. Well, I take it back. Maybe, the Zephyr Sanctum model, but if I remember correctly, you can get that at, in Lion's
What do
Arch.
you need?
But the only other one I'm really interested in is the gas mask, which, by the way, I can get for both gold and laurels in Lion's Arch. So I'm not even going to bother with this here. But the Zephyr Sanctum model, I would be interested in just to see what the heck it is. I know it's a toy, and it's just, you know, once you get it, it doesn't serve any purpose in combat. But I would like to see it because, like, I missed the opportunity to see the Zephyr Sanctum in all its glory during the Festival of the Four Winds originally. The first time I encountered it, as many others did afterwards, was in Dry Top when it was destroyed. Spoiler alert. So, and you know, now that the festival has been resurrected, they don't even, the Zephyr Sanctum isn't mentioned and you don't see it. So I have no idea what it looks like. I could, yeah. I would like to have seen the Zephyr Sanctum, but unfortunately that just didn't happen. So it's kind of the only reward out of all of this that I'm interested in, because I got the Slick Pack, that's what I really needed. Infinite Watch Night Tonic, that's a toy, or that's a disguise thing, I don't care. This I can get outside. I have no idea what this is. The vendor.
You'll find everything you need here.
Okay, so let's see. I want to take a look at these fused gauntlets. You are not in a party. I don't care. This is just a solid picture in the wiki. They don't move, so I wanted to see if these are even worth pursuing. I like that pose. A big glowy stick and the mean-looking glowing axe. They're okay. I feel like I've seen something similar with like Flame Legion dungeon armor with the chains and the dripping stuff. So I might try to work my way towards a fused gauntlet. I might. I don't know. I'm just not feeling ever anything here. Let's see. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Is that just the helmets? Yeah. And honestly, just meh. They're okay. Meh. I don't care. With me, I play Fashion Wars with each and every one of my just with my characters. I don't try to, you know, collect them all or anything like that. So like, as I'm creating the characters, I'm coming up with the image of what they would look like, and that matches kind of the playstyle that they're going to have as I'm going along. And sometimes it gets modified, and sometimes it doesn't. For example, Sandra's here, her armor looked completely different. She was, I don't know, she's kind of a techno-looking character at first. And by techno, I mean like modern day, like 21st century technology, kind of super technology, whatever. Not Magitech like Asura or Char. But when I upgraded the exotic armor from a what are they called? A cathedral in Ore. This is the exact same armor. I think it was Rubicon armor, something like that. And I liked it so much I kept it. The only thing I might disagree with is that the skirt is open in the front. That's kind of really the only thing. It's really difficult to get skirts for any character, male or female, where they're closed in front, or where it's the skirt is a complete wraparound. It's a tube rather than just kind of open in the front so they can move their legs around a bit more. So it's a really difficult thing to do. Anyways, so like I'm looking at all these skins and stuff. I'm like, I don't care. There's nothing interesting here. So, for example, this. Ew, no, why would I do that? And this, I'm not. It doesn't fit. The only one I might go for is this. Just so I can stick that on my... Oh gosh, I am tempted. Except I mentioned earlier that I rarely use my elementals, so it's kind of... Is that right? Zephyr Sanctum's 800 and you're at 493. Maybe I should go for that first. Oh. Watch Nightmare 2. What do you think of that, huh? But you can barely see. Meh, do not want, don't care. And that's distracting as all hell. I would never use that on one of my characters, so that's useless to me. Wait, what's the difference? Oh, it's a tonic, that's why. Yes, I might go for the... I think I'll try and work my way towards the Zephyr Sanctum model. Unfortunately, I just missed the treasure hunt in Labyrinthine Cliffs. So I might go for that, and then the Fervid Sensor. Just to dump it on my Elementalist, my first Elementalist, which I never use, by the way, except when I'm crafting with her. And I rarely do that these days. It's kind of all I'm really feeling at this point. Like, yeah, I can go down there and do some fighting and maybe do some more fighting. I don't know. I will admit, it was a mistake for me to put it off this long. Okay, I absolutely agree. It was a mistake. And I should have, done this at the start when everybody was here and there were much larger groups. Okay, that would have been interesting. He's low enough, I'm helping. So yeah, right now I'm kind of half-hearted in terms of how much commitment I'm gonna... Ow. Ow. I did like what I said. Just kind of half-heartedly, like... I'm not... Oh, what is going on here? Oh, it's those guys, right? I suppose I'm just not as committed to this festival like I am to, well, not really Winter's Day and not really Halloween. But I'm not really committed to this one, I guess. Like, yeah, it's great that it came back and I get to experience it. Festival of the Four Winds and Queen's Jubilee, yay! But, like, I don't know. I guess I'm just kind of having my fill with it. I'm sure it's a huge nostalgia boner for everybody else who was here years before. But for me, just feeling it. Maybe that's why it took me so long. I mean, it took me 2.5 weeks to get in here to the pavilion. And when I got here, it's just kind of fighting, some more fighting, and maybe a race once in a while. You know? I screwed that up. And one Flame Legion boss who's Naya, who defeats me at everything I do. Like, even if I'd been running my dual axe warrior, God damn it. Even if I'd been running my dual axe warrior, I doubt I would have fared any better at close range with that guy. So, meh. And of course he ran as soon as I triggered it. Which is all well and good, but that's how bosses work. Although this one is all over the place. I'm lagging so hard I can't dodge properly. I'm sorry to disappoint you, Master Piccolo, but I can't do it. I can't do it in here. Passed it on to others? Oh, wonderful. Oh, I'm lagging. Ooh. Ah, Jesus. Stop lagging. I can't even get a lock on the boss. Where is he? There he is. Why can't I move? Why are you... Maybe it means my... Oh my god, I can't even... Where is he? See, I want to melee him, he knocks me back. I want to melee him, and he just throws everything in the known universe at me. Get out of the lava. Okay, go ahead and lag your ass off and then get stuck. Wasted that. Now watch if I try to melee. Boom! Half HP, gone, instantly. And then these guys. 1/4 HP, knocked me in the lava. See, I got what, one hit off of him? I got one hit off of him with melee, and he just crushed me. And then he ran off. See, A, he either completely ignores you, or when he focuses you, he just downs you, like, instantly. Uh-oh. Heal me. Now he's looking my direction. I'm up. I'm healed. Here we go. Insta-kill. Like, it doesn't matter what I do. And I'm not coming back from that one. Fuck this boss. I'm done with that boss. I've faced him 3 times now. Now, to be fair, Ranger's not exactly the best at melee combat, even though most of its weapons are actually, like, you know, genuine, like, melee. Sword, axe. Well, no, actually, it's weird, because axe is actually a ranged weapon. Axe offhand is, yes, a melee weapon. Dagger main, dagger off, only if you it's dagger main only if you're a soul beast, and then great sword. Short bow is very Condi friendly. It doesn't do a lot of damage. It fires more often, but I just wasn't happy with short bow. I think I'll leave short bow to the thieves of this world. So I guess kind of at this point I'm done. There's nothing here I'm feeling. There's nothing that's like driving me to, oh, I need to come back. Yes, absolutely. Oh, this was an amazing thing. I've been here barely an hour and I'm just kind of, whatever. I don't know. I guess I just like Super Adventure Box more. And the Lunar New Year is pretty much for all the PvPers, so like I don't give a shit about Lunar New Year. I never participated except for the daily bean counter collector, whatchamacallit thingy that you do each day. Beyond that, I don't care about Lunar New Year. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna go back to Labyrinthine Cliffs. It looks pretty enough, and there's so much more charm in Labyrinthine Cliffs. Labyrinthine Cliffs. Let's see, where is... Oh, it was in the south, I think. Oh, there it is. No, that's gonna take me back up. If I could see a big red balloon, that would be helpful. Festival travel. Here we go.
Peace is worth fighting for.
Yeah. I had this nice little 10-minute wrap-up. 10 minutes, 7 minutes, however long it was. Well, I was wandering around Labyrinthine Cliffs, and then I looked at the recording and I realized, oh, my microphone was on mute for the last 10 minutes. So I'm going to try and recreate the mood. I'm kind of done with the Festival of the Four Winds at this point. I don't imagine I'm going to be making any more recordings on the matter. I just like the Labyrinthine Cliffs a lot more. It's this Eastern Asian look, which is so very, very different from anything else in Guild Wars 2. Which I was not aware of when I went into Dry Top for the first time. Which I was not aware of when I went into the Silver Waste for the first time, 3.5 years ago when I first started. And I agree with that guy. I just like it's not more European or Egyptian or Western, United States American type stuff. It's very different, and it's very charming. I mean, you can go, where is it? Down here. You can listen to a steampunk electric guitar flamethrower rock band down here, and you can go sunning, and then you can ride on the boat for about, almost 15 minutes. How long does it take this thing to do this very, very lazy circle around, and then it goes down here, and it goes up here, it hits its mast on the top here, and nobody notices, and then it curls around back through here. Oh, right, I forgot. You guys can't see my cursor. I don't know why it's not recording my cursor. I've looked, and it just doesn't. Is this a race? Oh, a race. I just like the mood of Labyrinthine Cliffs, although to be fair, that background music got pretty annoying after a while, because it's kind of the same thing over and over and over. Sounds nice, but just... But,
There's a mount race coming up. Speak with me if you're interested in
kind of done with the festival. Like, I've spent so much time here. Well, I shouldn't say that much. I've spent more time in the last 2 weeks here, and what I did up in the Crown Pavilion is all that I've done today. Am I going to go back? I might, but I don't see myself going back. least not this year. Races are all well and good, and I don't know. I suppose that's the limits of, and I may have said this already and I don't remember, I suppose that's the limits of what Living World Season 1 had available at the time, and I'm just seeing it from, you know, all the amazing things that they've done since Living World Season 1, and I'm look back on it and like, oh, okay, there isn't really anything interesting. So, like, Labyrinthine Cliffs is just so interesting. I really like this place. I kind of hope that they revisit the Zephyrite just to give us more of this architecture, and, you know, something like the Zephyr Sanctum again, maybe Zephyr Sanctum Mark II. You know, they could do something like that. I'm kind of running out of things to say at this point in terms of Festival of the Four Winds. And most of the stuff that's in there, they had already, by the time I joined, they had already transferred most of that to Laurel merchants. So, you know, that's what I'm going to be doing with that gas mask, and it's... Well, no, actually, I'm going to get the Zephyr Sanctum model, but, I mean, once I get that, is it really going to... I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Maybe I'll do a short video of it when I finally get it. We'll see what happens. And now, to the race. And lagging. Just why not? I wonder if going gliding or if hovering gives you any advantage in the race. I don't notice any speed differences because people on the ground seem to go as fast as those in the air. That was a really big shark I just saw. See, I actually slowed down when I used that just then. That's it for that. I think I started so late that I couldn't do anything about it. That's usually where I get caught up right there. This is what, the 6th or 7th time I've done this. Meh. Thankfully I have not been taken out by any sharks in any of these, so yes. Yay, done. Yeah, the tourists have all calmed down, and the boat is about to take off, if it hasn't already. See, Gordon, where are you? Gordon moves every time. He's not here. Get out there. Hello? What the... Which is true. That's how I do it. Got a node. I think I'm done. I've said pretty much everything I can at this point. I'm gonna get the Zephyr Sanctum model, and then I'll get the gas mask, which is a surface only thing, by the way. I researched it earlier. It's like, no, you can't use it underwater. They need to give us some more underwater masks. Maybe when they finally start talking about bubbles, then we'll get new underwater masks. That would be nice. But I think I'm done. I am finished, and I can't zoom in. I can't do it properly. I'm done. And so with that, this is AV Unit 4A saying thank you for tuning in.